Good afternoon. We are nursing students from South Puget Sound Community College. We are here to present on tobacco cessation today, which is the medical term for quitting tobacco use. We are going to be using some medical terminology, some medical terms, so if you have any questions about those terms, please interrupt us and we can further explain. Next slide. So why are we here talking about tobacco? There are so many different things that are bad for your health, alcohol, drug use, but tobacco still seems to be a major issue. As you can see, it's the most preventable cause of disease and death in the United States, as well as the #1 cause in Washington state. So it still is a very prevalent issue. Healthy People 2020 are goals set forth by the federal health department, and they are encouraging the American public to quit smoking so that they can reduce illness, disability, and death related to tobacco use and secondhand exposure.
A couple of things that we're going to discuss during this presentation are we're going to talk about different types of tobacco products, the impact that tobacco has on the body system, specifically the lungs, heart, and brain, ways to reduce your tobacco use, as well as provide you with some resources to aid in your quitting of tobacco. Why is tobacco addictive? It's addictive because of nicotine.
Nicotine is addictive because in the brain it will increase the release of dopamine and adrenaline in your brain. And your body likes that feeling, so that's why it's really hard to quit nicotine. Nicotine works, it's ingested, whether it's smoked or chewed through your mucous membranes in your mouth, or as a mint absorbed. It gets into your blood, it enters your brain within 10 seconds, and it releases the adrenaline and dopamine types of chemicals in your brain. It increases your blood pressure and your heart rate, and your blood vessels get narrowed, and it also decreases the amount of oxygen in your body.
So there are various types of tobacco products that do contain nicotine. Smokeless or chewing tobacco, cigars, cigarettes, those are probably more of what you guys are familiar with. There's also dissolvable tobacco, which is actually not sold in Washington state. It's sold in other states throughout the US, but Washington state has actually found that it's being marketed towards children and young adults. So now there's laws to actually protect youth so that that's not being marketed towards them. Shisha is another type, and pipe tobacco. So there are numerous health consequences of tobacco. A lot of these consequences are from the 4,000 chemicals that are found in the cigarettes, which is from the tar. 40 of these 4,000 chemicals are known to cause cancer. Things that are known to cause cancer are called carcinogenic agents, which are typically dose dependent. So the longer that you've used them, the more exposure, the more damage that's going to be done. That's why it's so important that for you guys at a young age to get you guys off of tobacco and making healthier choices. That way you guys don't have the long duration of the health consequences. Cigarette smoke, interestingly, with alcohol use, they kind of have an additive effect in terms of their carcinogenic effects, and it will increase the risk of cancer in the mouth, the voice box, and the esophagus.
Some effects that it has on the lungs. Here is a picture of the human healthy lung and a diseased lung out here, back here, after prolonged exposure to nicotine and tobacco smoke. Can also cause some other diseases and illnesses such as inflammation of the sinuses, bronchitis, pneumonia, and even emphysema. Tobacco is known to cause cancer. It's carcinogenic. Here's a gentleman here who's had his jaw removed due to mouth cancer caused by chewing tobacco. Another picture down here of a gentleman with mouth cancer, got some deformity. And a gentleman here smoking out of a tracheostomy that he has out of his throat. Just proof that cigarettes are addictive. Other cancers could be lung cancer, cancers of your voice box, as well as your esophagus.
Nicotine also affects your heart and tobacco by narrowing the blood vessels with fatty buildup. Your blood pressure is increased, and that also increases the chance of blood clots, especially for women on taking birth control pills at the same time. Obviously, you won't be able to exercise as well because your lungs aren't fully oxygenating your body. So heart disease is a major risk for all smokers. It also affects your brain. Nicotine gets to your brain very quickly, like I said earlier. You're much more likely to have a stroke. And especially, again, if you use birth control, you're more likely to have clots and which could cause a stroke.
So there's specific ways that you can reduce your use. Smoking is difficult to stop, but it's easier when you're young. So the sooner you stop, the less damage that you'll do to your body. Different strategies that we've included here is making sure that you stay hydrated. Hydration will help to kind of dissipate and flush out all the toxins. But to be patient, when you have the urge to smoke, it's usually just for a few minutes and then it'll pass. And as you start to cut back, you'll notice that your urge to smoke decreases over time. Also, it's really important to exercise, because that way you'll still be releasing a lot of the feel-good chemicals that you were getting from nicotine, except for you don't have any of the health consequences, such as the carcinogenics from all the different chemicals. Plus, you get an additive positive effect because you're building cardiovascular fitness. It's important to get support, to not try to quit alone. There are specific hotlines that we'll share with you later on in the presentation. Also, your peers, your counselors here at school, your nurse or the doctor that you go and see, or even your parents can help support you to quit smoking. Finally, keep your mouth busy. You want to nibble on low-calorie foods, chew gum, or drink water, but there's a lot of that ritualistic habit that needs to be broken when you're looking at tobacco cessation. So a couple facts here. Tobacco industry spends roughly $34 million daily on advertising and promotions that are targeting you. 80% of teens would prefer to date a non-smoker, and about 70% of smokers say they want to quit. So out of those 70% that say they want to quit, each year less than 1 in 20 smokers actually succeed in quitting.
Some more facts. Most high school students attempt to quit without the use of tobacco cessation resources, so they try to do it by themselves. More than one attempt to quit is likely before you actually succeed, so don't get discouraged if you try to quit and you start up again. And to quit completely, you need to change your attitude, change the way you look at tobacco, change your knowledge, the intention, motivation, and the use of cessation resources. So you need to use the resources. Here's a list of resources for you. The one I'm going to focus on now is the quitline.com and the 1-800-QUIT-NOW. There's also there's also a line for Spanish speaking. There's a new program that the Department of Health has initiated that's good through June 30th, that they're going to help individuals who are over the age of 18, provide them with nicotine patches, counseling, and additional resources to help you develop a plan to quit using tobacco.
And in order to gain freedom from your nicotine addiction, the use of the nicotine replacement therapies is very important. It doubles your chance of succeeding. And if you use them correctly, which means that you probably would use them for almost 3 months, you're much more likely to be successful, and that will immediately benefit your whole body. Okay, we have some questions, and if you can just tell us the answer, we will throw you a pack of sugar-free chewing gum. The questions are: what is one type of tobacco product and one negative health effect of that product? Can you name one way to reduce tobacco use? What is one free resource you can access to aid tobacco cessation? And discuss how tobacco impacts one body system, so either your lungs, your heart, or your brain. Do you have any questions? Thank you.